This is about all the pie town we're seeing today. We're getting out of here. The toaster house was wonderful. Man, I slept really well. Somebody had left some melatonin in the hiker box and I took a little bit of it. I was knocked out. So from what I understand with the toaster house, it was originally, we'll call it founded, if we want to call that, but this extremely kind woman named Nita was running the hostel. I believe it was her home, and she began to open it up to hikers and bikers. And unfortunately, Nita passed away in 2023, and the home was transferred to her youngest daughter, who's the owner of the home. But her youngest daughter has continued to keep it open for the hikers and the bikers, and it's just such a cool place. It's all donation based, but very clean, very kind, so much food too. And from what I understand, several members of the community have donated to the hostel, whether that's monetarily or foodstuffs, things like that. That's just such a cool place. Apologies for the dark photos of it. We got in a little later last night and I didn't want to do too much filming. Just wanted to get to bed. I was wiped out. But slept great, and it was so good getting to see Blind Spot and Wilco again. And I don't know how far they're going to go today. I think about 15 miles, and I'm planning on doing 30 at a minimum. We're going to take 4 days to go from Pie Town to Doc Campbell's in the Gila Wilderness. Initially thought I was going to do 3, but I realized that my resupply guide in that particular section was incorrect. So I miscalculated on the math there. Thought it was 90 days. It's actually closer to 120. So we'll take 4 days to get there, which is exciting because we haven't been out for 4 days since Colorado. And it's always fun to be out on a longer trip. Not that I don't mind the 1 or 2 days between town. Those were wonderful too. But something about just being out for an extended period is fun, and yeah, should be enjoyable. Today's not going to be super entertaining, guys. It's just going to be road walking. It's a 39-40 mile road walk on this sand and dirt once again, and we've got cloud cover overhead as well. It's like a 40% chance of rain. It did rain all last night. We'll see how it goes. All right, y'all, hopping off. Downpours of rain in the desert was not on the bingo card for the CDT. This is interesting. So we got some peanut butter mud action going on, and my shoes have added a pound of weight to them. It's a little resistance training, I suppose. Get me prepared for the last stretch. Worst case scenario, I'll just wash everything off in the Gila River. Alright folks, we have made it to the Davila Ranch. It is a ranch that has done an exceptional kindness to CDT Thru hikers and has a pit stop here. And they've got covered shelter, they even have food, there's laundry, there's Wi-Fi sometimes. I think it's off right now, but it's just incredible, and it's just right off one of these Forest Service roads. And it's all donation based. I'm really excited to show you guys what it looks like. Alright y'all, let's check out the Davila Ranch. So we've got water points all around here. You've got one there. And nice covered shelter here. They have electricity. There's power strips all throughout here like you can see there. And as we make our way back this way, you can see they have the washing machines and the dryers, which is incredible. And then we got the fridge here. There's nothing in here right now. I can show you the nothingness. And a freezer, nothing in there as well. And sometimes there's eggs, but they are not here today. And we've got, yeah, the Wi-Fi router, which is insane. Like I said, this is just set up in the desert. And then over here we have some of the shower stalls. Let me get over this way. So we got the shower stall right there, which is crazy once again. And then over this way, there's a cooking station. Obviously the picnic tables and some water here as well. And yeah, look at that. It's pretty incredible what they're giving out to hikers. And then over here, there are some covered tent sites. So that overhang there, if you wanted to set up, you could set your tent up and not have to worry about the wind or rain or dust or anything. So yeah, it's one heck of a place. I'm just gonna get some water here and rest for a couple minutes and move on. Well, that was a great stop. Had a dehydrated meal, specifically a Peak Refuel. Those things are really good. And they're super calorie dense. Take a look at them if you're in the market for some new dehydrated meals. They are a little pricey, but you get what you pay for. They're really tasty, and like I said, tons of calories. Alright guys, back on the trail. Oh, I'm starting to take the forest with me. Oh man, it's like having boots on. It's a lot of mud. A lot of mud. Hey, good afternoon folks. We are wrapping up the last 3 miles of the day. It's been a decent day. A lot of the mud, as we saw earlier from the rain that we had gotten the entire day, but it wasn't terrible. Just stuck to the shoes, made them feel like boots. Overall, a solid day. Walking out of Pie Town wasn't terrible. And currently descending down into what'll be the campsite. It looks like it's a Forest Service campground. I don't know to what extent of a campground it is. I think it's purely tent sites, maybe a privy, which would be great. And there is a tank water source that'll be nearby. And in the spring, there's a spring that flows behind the campground, but I doubt that it's flowing right now. I didn't see any comments that were recent on Far Out that referenced the stream, so I think we'll be getting water out of the tank. Overall, not a bad day. Just keeping my head down and staying focused on the hiking. As I get closer, it's becoming easier to try to start popping my head up. I think the best analogy I could use would be like a swimmer trying to swim for time. You know, it's better to keep your head down and in the water and basically just come up for air as opposed to constantly popping your head up to look and see how far you have to go. That's similar to what I'm doing right now with this hike, is just trying to keep my head down and stay focused on the day and the task at hand rather than trying to pop my head up and look into the future and think too much about the end of the trail, and just do my best to live in the moment. I also owe you guys 10 things I've learned on this trail. I've got 2 more days to think those up before I start providing them to you. And I think I'm going to try to do a little mix of some humorous stuff mixed in with some more serious things, just to keep it lighthearted and still pass along, hopefully, some valuable lessons that were hard-earned on the trail. Okay, guys, we will be in camp soon. I will talk to you later. Hey guys, we'll go ahead and do the closeout for tonight. I am at the Forest Service campground here, about 30 miles from Pie Town where we started this morning. Ended up being a decent day. Like I said, we had rain throughout the day that kicked on and off throughout the day and had a decent amount of mud on those roads. We were almost exclusive. In fact, no, we were on roads 100% of the time today and got a little bit muddy in sections, but overall pretty decent tread, and we're able to move at about 3 miles an hour, which is exactly what we want. Not too big on the views today, just because we stayed down low and it was mainly along the road, but I suspect that we're going to get significantly better views as we make our way into the Gila Wilderness over the next 3 days on our way to Doc Campbell's, which is a outpost, like general store type thing, that's midway through or just over halfway through the Gila Wilderness. And we've got a box there, so we'll be stopping. Probably we'll do laundry and shower. If we're lucky, they're actually closed on Wednesdays, which is when we'll be getting in there. Though they have been known to help out hikers during off hours in the past because they understand the CDT hiker schedule. Otherwise, just wake up Thursday morning and get everything done. Not that big of a deal. Tomorrow is going to be another about 31 mile day as we make our way down the trail, and we will be entering the Gila Wilderness tomorrow, and the intent is to get up on the high route. We're going to stay out of the low route where the river is at, just because it's going to be a little bit too cold to be messing around with that, and I just don't want to be wet when it's 40, 50 degrees out. It's just not very fun. It's doable, but just not a very enjoyable experience. So at some point we will have to drop down into the canyon. That'll be on the back end of it. Alright guys, I'm going to rack out.